Okay, so today we're going deep into some pretty fascinating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Really ancient texts.
Yeah.
Leviticus.
Oh, wow.
Chapter 3.
Okay.
To be exact.
Right.
And we're gonna try to unpack the how and the why of peace offerings
Okay.
in ancient Israel.
Interesting.
When you hear that, you might think, oh, this is all about,
Right,
ancient rituals and stuff.
Yeah.
But stick with us, because these offerings are actually a window into a whole culture.
That's right.
Like their values, their beliefs.
Absolutely.
And even their culinary preferences.
It's true.
Yeah.
One of the things that's really intriguing about these peace offerings is that they weren't actually about like making amends or asking for forgiveness.
Oh, interesting.
It's not about saying sorry for something you did.
Yeah.
It was really more about expressing gratitude.
Okay.
Celebrating like a milestone maybe.
Yeah.
Or just strengthening that bond with God.
It's kind of like saying, hey, things are good. Let's, share a meal and give thanks.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a simple one-on-one dinner with the divine.
No.
Right? It was like a three-way feast.
It was a three-way feast. That's a great way to put it.
Really?
So you have a portion of the offering was burned for God.
Right.
A portion went to the priests, and then the person making the offering got to partake as well.
Wow, so they all got a piece.
Exactly. It was this communal aspect of sharing the meal that's really, really significant. It wasn't just about, feeding yourself. It was about acknowledging this connection between, like, humanity and the divine.
That shared meal element, it really strikes me.
Yeah.
Like, is it about creating a sense of equality?
Mm-hmm.
Or is there like a deeper spiritual significance to it?
I think it's probably a little bit of both. You're acknowledging God's role in like your prosperity, You're showing respect by offering like the best portions.
Right.
And then you're sharing that bounty with the community, including the priests who are kind of serving as like these intermediaries.
Right.
So it creates this really beautiful sense of unity and shared purpose.
Yeah, you can't talk about these offerings without getting into the specifics.
Right.
And Leviticus, it lays out some very detailed instructions.
Absolutely.
We're talking about like the fatty tail of the sheep, the kidneys, even the protruding lobe on the liver.
It's very specific.
Like the detail in these instructions.
Yeah.
It really makes you realize how important each element was.
For sure.
And it makes me wonder, like, what other layers of meaning we might be missing.
Oh, absolutely.
I
mean, those specific parts might have been chosen because they were seen as like the most desirable, like the richest.
Okay.
So offering them to God was a way of like giving your absolute best.
Uh-huh.
But there are also practical considerations.
Okay.
Fat was crucial for preserving meat.
Oh, right.
So offering it could have been about ensuring that like nothing went to waste.
That reminds me of how we talk about like offering the best of ourselves today.
Yeah.
Whether it's our time, our talents, our resources.
Right.
Could these ancient practices be seen as like a precursor to that idea?
Oh, absolutely. I think so.
Yeah.
Think about acts of service.
Mm-hmm.
Like dedicating your art to a cause, or even like rigorous self-discipline in pursuit of a greater goal.
Right.
These could all be seen as modern forms of offering.
Right.
It's about sacrificing something precious for something that you deem even more valuable.
Yeah. And speaking of sacrifice,
there's
that whole piece about fat and blood being off limits.
Right.
It's similar to how some people today avoid certain foods, for health or ethical reasons.
Yeah.
Those restrictions, likely came from a mix of spiritual beliefs and practical concerns about food safety.
It makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, these dietary rules, they really provide a glimpse into their worldview.
Huh.
The act of eating. Even what you chose to eat and avoid was deeply intertwined with their relationship with God.
Now imagine you're standing at the entrance of the meeting tent.
Okay.
The air is thick with the scent of cedarwood.
Wow.
From the tent's structure, mingling with the smoke from the burning offerings. Mm-hmm. The chanting of the priests is echoing around you.
Powerful.
It's like a truly immersive experience.
Yeah.
A completely different world.
Right.
Yet there's something so visceral about these practices.
Yes, and that's what's so fascinating.
Right.
We might not be sacrificing animals anymore.
Yeah. But
the underlying human desire to connect with something greater than ourselves, it remains that urge to express gratitude, to make sacrifices for something we believe in, to share a meal as a way of strengthening community.
Yeah.
These are all threads that connect us to these ancient practices.
So in this deep dive, we've uncovered like the multifaceted nature of peace offerings. It's not just about saying thank you.
Right.
It's about actively demonstrating that gratitude
Mm-hmm.
through, carefully chosen actions, shared meals.
Yes.
And a deep understanding of the connection between like the physical and the spiritual.
Here's something to consider. Even something that seems as straightforward as like a set of rules about offerings can, upon closer examination, reveal like profound insights into human nature.
Okay.
And our constant search for meaning and connection.
Interesting.
So as you go about your day, think about your own experiences of gratitude, sacrifice, and shared meals.
Okay.
What do those acts mean to you? What do they reveal about your own values and beliefs?
That's something to think about.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah.
Fascinating stuff.
Absolutely.